Hi friends, Joseph Anthony here, and welcome to another update video. This one for May the 8th, 2024, and it's obvious from this slide here what I'm calling this update. Solar activity increasing. So if you folks have been paying attention, which I know many of you have, there's been a tremendous amount of solar activity beginning at the end of April, as I've showed in my past videos. And this energy, from what I gather, is going to continue. And it's getting stronger, and it's affecting us psychologically, emotionally, our sleep patterns, our eating habits, everything is being affected by it. I can't tell you how many people have contacted me in the last, just the last week or two alone, friends, former clients, going, there's something wrong with me. I can't sleep. I don't know what's going on. And if they just, saw this and understood the power of these solar events and how it's affecting us, they would understand that it's not just happening to them, it's happening to everyone. So anyway, I'm going to do a quick update video here on this and show you what I'm talking about. I've tuned into some of this stuff, and my spidey senses are right on target. And so let's go down the rabbit hole. So since the 23rd, when we had 4 massive solar flares, rip off the sun, these were very strong, very powerful. And so, but we had a couple of days ago, and I've posted this in my private community, that there has been a lot of solar activity, and we had more coming in. This was on the 3rd. We had some very powerful ones. X flares are very powerful flares. They're very strong. And we are in solar cycle 25, and I'll explain what that means as well. But I've been posting like a madman, on social media and in my private community about what's really going on. And so it's very important to understand why these flares are affecting us so much. So here, as I'm doing this video today, we have 2 more flares that erupted on May the 8th. And here are the sunspots, the numbers. And this makes like 7 or 8, 6 or 7 flares so far that have erupted. Now, this is highly unusual to have this many in such a short period of time. But this is the kind of activity that I saw coming in, when I saw those visions in 2009. And it clearly showed me the end of 2024 into 2025. There was going to be a lot of activity. We were looking up at the sky. There was something going on. And this is what I think I'm seeing. And this is really fitting into what, what's going on out there right now. So these are things that we need to pay attention to because they absolutely affect us psychologically, emotionally, in some way, and including messing up the circadian rhythm, which is the natural rhythm of sleep in our bodies. So I'm feeling it. I know everyone else is feeling it. So these are very important to comprehend. All right, so we're in the strongest solar flares just happened this last week or so. I mean, X flares are super powerful, and we usually just feel them. So for those of you folks that don't know what a solar flare is, it is when this electromagnetic field erupts from the sun, and it is so powerful. I mean, millions of miles an hour. This thing is just flying through space. And just to give you an idea of the size of these things, here is Earth. Okay, there's a solar flare. Do you not see how this thing heading our direction could affect that little tiny ball we call Earth? I mean, this is no joke. We know the sun is massive, but just a flare alone, it definitely, just wraps itself around the Earth. And so the electromagnetic field of the Earth and the core is all iron. The core is iron, and then you have the ionosphere that's trying to block out a lot of this magnetic wave, but sometimes it's very hard, especially since the upper ionosphere has been depleted. And it's not anything man has done. It is a natural cycle. And so, with all this amount of energy coming through, it is absolutely affecting us. So anyway, as I've said in all my videos, everything in this universe is energy. Every cell of your body is energy. Your body is basically vibrating cells that are being compressed by some sort of gravity in the universe. That's the only way we form these bodies. Okay, and inside that physical suit is some sort of power source. We call it a soul. We call it a spirit. That's what it is. But you make no mistake, we are all energy. And you can see from these solar flares that it is powerful energy. Okay, so why is this important? Because when these flares hit, it wraps itself around us. Now, we can't actually see unless we're using instruments of some kind, but it hits us. The electromagnetic wave hits us. I mean, just look at static electricity in clothes, right? We create electricity from that when the right amount of moisture or the lack of moisture and dryness, and it causes friction, and all of a sudden we touch, something, and it automatically causes static electricity. So imagine that static electricity like tenfold, but we can't see it, but we could feel it. Our body is in tune with that energy, and we absolutely feel it. So this is something to pay attention to. So next time you feel depressed or sleeping more or feeling tired, think to yourself, is there some sort of electromagnetic energy that's affecting me? And when we get to the end, I'll show you the links to go to check this stuff out. But these also affect the brain waves. Okay, we know this. I mean, just an EKG is a reading of a brain wave. So if you've got this intense radiomagnetic energy coming from the sun affecting the brain waves, so a lot of people are feeling it. And of course, people are kind of losing their marbles, as I've pointed out. We have so many people that are just losing their grip on reality because the brain waves are getting scrambled, and they're not sure what the hell is happening to them. So they start overreacting, or they go into emotional mode or anger mode, and all of a sudden you've got, somebody exploding. And then the worst part is, and this is something I've had to talk to a couple of friends over the last week or so, depression. This absolutely can make you very depressed because we're being radiated at a higher frequency, and you think there's something going on within you, like, I'm so depressed, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know where I'm going. The first thing I would suggest is stop thinking like that, because everyone on this planet, including the animals and the plant life and anything else that's alive, is absolutely feeling this energy. It is moving the magnetic fields of the earth, and so it is affecting us. Just look at those poor animals, like the whales and the dolphins that are, beaching themselves. Their whole sonar is being thrown off. This is why they're doing that. It's not like they're trying to commit suicide. They're doing it because their radar is off. And the same holds true for animals that are, coming from the wild, going into neighborhoods. They're asking for food and so on, and we made it so easy for them. But what I'm getting at is these electromagnetic fields are causing a lot of confusion. And so people that are already mildly depressed are feeling more depressed, because they think something's happening to them. There's something wrong with them. I need to go to a doctor and so on. But it's really the energy and the magnetic poles of the earth that are moving that is causing a lot of this in our physical bodies. Okay, I'm not saying all of it, but a large majority of it, because I feel it. I see what's going on with myself. I see the sleeping patterns that have changed. My eating habits have changed. At times, sometimes I don't feel motivated, and I'm drinking a few more cups of coffee a day than I normally would because of the energy, But this is the kind of stuff that's affecting all of us, all right? Unfortunately, the downside is, like I said, especially for you young folks, and when I say young folks, under 30, many of you are taking it so personally that it's actually turning into anger, because the need for perfection, or the need to understand your life is not going in a certain direction, whatever it is, do not go to that anger. Do not go to the emotions, because all you're doing is putting fuel on the fire when you go to that place. You understand? So first, you got to say to yourself, okay, something is happening here to me. Is it affecting other people? Let me check. Let me go talk to somebody. Let me go talk to a family member, a friend. Hey, are you feeling kind of weird, losing some sleep, or your eating habits have changed? Ask around. And if people start going, yeah, the last week or so I've been really strange, there's a confirmation. So pay attention. Don't immediately jump to conclusions as it's only happening to you and you're going to frustrate yourself with life. We're in the middle of a huge transition, and it's an energetic one and a societal one. Okay, so that's what I've been talking about, trying to get people to get to see this. So anyway, we've also had studies done, and they've done studies with different things that go on in the body and how the body reacts. And as you can see, your anger is very strong. It's very red and orange and yellow. Happiness is very strong. The whole body gets lit up. And love is very strong. And just look at the other ones. Envy, shame, being neutral, contempt. They're all dark energy because you're not elevating that hormone in your body, and you're not releasing endorphins, and your vibration is lower. See, this is what we have full control over, is the physical suit, how we react to things. Okay, so like I said, I would rather see people stay in the neutral zone, which you see over there on the right, the neutral zone, that you don't activate anything and just stay in a neutral place, because that's where you'll get more information that comes in from spirit or, your higher consciousness. So there's actually been studies done, seeing this on their equipment. Anyway, we have a new moon coming in. It was activated on the 7th, so now we have the Taurus moon. Now, Taurus is a very sensitive sign. It senses everything. So the energy is more inclined to be more, sensitive in our bodies. But Taurus also rules the earth. So it's associated with the earth. The grounding, the trees, the soil, all that stuff is associated with Taurus. So over the next 2 weeks, because that's how long this new moon will be in effect, we will be feeling more sensitive. We will be needing to be more grounded. So go outside with no shoes on, because that's one of the best ways. If you could get your feet into soil or go into nature, even for just 20, 30 minutes with no shoes on, just your socks, you'll get grounded. So being grounded with the Taurus new moon could be very beneficial. This is all about our belief systems and understanding. But yes, it will make us a little bit more sensitive during a new moon cycle like this one. It's a very strong one. Not only that, on the 18th, we have this double conjunction coming in Taurus. And I just hope, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I just hope we don't have more powerful solar eclipses coming in during this time, because these could be Earth directed and they could be supercharged. Okay, now I said that this could be a very positive time for many people with Taurus energy in their chart or wherever these placements are. And yes, that could be true. But I'm talking about now from a sort of a scientific standpoint, that the solar flare activity just keeps going up. And I do believe it will continue to go up, especially over the summer months. And so keep an eye on this as we lead into May 18th, and keep an eye on the space weather, because it's going to be very important to understand how this energy is going to come in, how it's going to affect us, because Jupiter's involved, because the sun is involved. These are two very powerful bodies that are going to be right there in the mix. So maybe they help deflect, maybe they draw more energy in from the sun. Whatever it is, it's a wild card, especially with Uranus being in the picture too. So this is going to be a very interesting time. Okay, so keep an eye on this stuff. Again, no fear. It's just basic information to give you a heads up on what's going on. Okay. Now remember, I did talk about this in previous videos, the solar flash coming at the end of the F2024, and the evidence seems to be building more and more every day. And I'm not proud of that, but it's just what I saw, and I'm putting it out there for you guys so you could just prepare. Like I said, prepare, because one of the biggest things that could happen here with a massive solar flare or multiple solar flares that come in at the same time is power outages. And so I said that this would be the time frame to really pay attention between August. The astrology for August is just off the charts. Any astrologer will tell you that. August, the astrology is just very unstable, going all the way into April of 2025. But these solar flares do affect electricity. They affect radio waves, ham radios. Matter of fact, the one where we had a couple of days ago, I remember reading about, where was it, in China somewhere? A lot of the ham radios went out. So it does affect certain frequencies. Again, everything is a frequency. So this is the time frame to really keep an eye out. And so I want you guys to pay attention. I'll do as much as I can, put out as much information. Of course, these days I'm putting a lot more information in my private communities because, these people are, they're supporting me. And here again, I have to be very careful what I'm saying. So, but the power outages are a possibility. That's my concern, because imagine the world we live in right now with no cell phone service and having cities or places with no power. Could you imagine people are already on edge? And then you take away their internet and you take away electricity? You're just asking for problems. Now, again, I'm not trying to scare anybody here. I'm being realistic. This is a possible scenario, okay? So You people are smart enough to listen to me here and many others. Prepare a couple of months worth of food, know where the water sources are, have enough money in your possession, have supplies ready. And God forbid something happens and you don't have power for a couple of weeks, you'll be fine. You see? And then because you have a heads up, and then you share that information with the people you need to share it with. That's it. And you stay calm. You go, okay, Joe said that this was a possibility here, and all right, we're going to deal with it. You see, that's how you do it. You prepare without the fear. That's my suggestion. Now, Mr. T has been saying all along, nothing could stop what's coming. Now, I do think he is not referring to the White House. I think he's referring to the solar activity, because he's privy to inside information. And as I've pointed out in many other videos, our sneaky government, and that means all of it, has technology. They have AI that's really advanced. They've been using remote viewers for years, and they've tuned into a lot of this stuff already. So they know what's coming. They've been talking about it for years. I know there's been many remote viewers, especially one in particular, who's been talking about the so-called quote-unquote kill shot. And I don't think he's going to, it's possible that it might happen, but I think he just worded it the wrong way. I think when he was referring to kill shot, I think he was talking about, power going out and really doing a lot of damage. I hope that's not the case. I did not see that in my vision, so I'm not going to feed into that. But again, it could occur, and let's say it takes out a place like New York, New York State, the power. It just takes out the power. I mean, there you go. Now you've got all these electrical companies scrambling to get new transformers in and get the power back run. And this could be a couple of weeks to a couple of months. So it could cause some issues. So I hope it doesn't happen. I didn't see it happening. But I think Mr. T, and his team and all those comms over the years have been talking about nothing could stop what's happening. I don't think they're talking about politics. Okay? Just my spidey senses. So what is it? Solar cycle 25. Okay? This is every 11 years or so, we seem to have sort of this peak energy coming from the sun. And then 11 years after that, it stays a bit dormant. So according to the scientist, we're in solar cycle 25. And as you can see from this map here, it seems to peak in 2025. Let me blow that up a little bit for you. But first, let me explain what a solar flare is. Our sun is a huge ball of electricity, charged hot gas. This charged gas moves, generating a power magnetic field. We know that. The sun's magnetic field goes through a cycle called a solar cycle. Every 11 years or so, the sun's magnetic field completely flips. This means that the sun's north and south poles switch places. Then it takes about another 11 years for the sun's north and south poles to flip again. The solar cycle affects activity on the surface of the sun, such as sunspots, which are caused by the sun's magnetic fields. As the magnetic fields change, so does the amount of activity on the sun's surface. Okay, so you could take a screenshot of this, or you could look it up yourself. But this is what it actually means. So here is a perfect depiction of what a solar minimum and a solar maximum looks like. You can see on the left there, solar minimum, everything's quiet. You don't really see any sunspots. But as we go into solar maximum, which we are in right now, you can see the activity of all those sunspots and that are activated. It's like they're bubbling. And so because everything's moving and shifting. So this is what we're in right now. So it seems to be peaking in July of 2025, but we're entering it right now. Okay, according to some of the data that I've researched and looked into. Now, I'm not a scientist, but I could do research and I know how to find information. So this is what I'm finding from some of these space websites that actually do real science. So here is an example, July 2025, and this was put out in 2019, as you can see here. December 9th, 2019, they put this out. So they saw it spiking. So again, we're in that zone. We're entering that zone right now as we speak. And then it becomes higher and stronger, from what I gather, in August of this year all the way through April of 2025. But the scientists are saying it's going to peak in July of 2025. So there is that possibility. They're doing the science. They're doing the calculations to figure it out. I'm just going by the research, but also my own spidey senses, what I was shown, what I've tuned into. So let's see what happens, But again, at least you guys are armed with information now, rather than just thinking something's wrong. Why is my electricity, my phone not working right, and so on and so forth. Got it? Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now, the other thing that's been really amazing is how many of you have noticed the increase in the wind wherever you live? Now, I've contacted people around the country, and they're all saying the same thing. Yeah, there seems to be so much wind, for no apparent reason. Well, if you've got this electromagnetic field that's hitting the earth, and some of that energy and that wind is coming in, it's going into our atmosphere. So what we're feeling is solar winds. That's how powerful they are. And that's what's causing it. Notice it happens as soon as the sun comes up, usually around 8, 10, 11 o'clock, the winds start picking up. And then in the evening, when the sun goes down, the winds go away. Solar winds, friends. So it's hitting the Earth's magnetic fields. So we could feel that. We could see the trees blowing. So this is what's happening there. So anyway, also our friend here from Into Thin Air has been putting up a couple of great videos, more strange anomalies down south. And he's calculating in this website that he uses, Ventu Sky, 85-foot waves. And they're incredible. And so again, we're seeing some weirdness going on. It all started with the solar eclipse in April, as I suggested. Weird time, weird stuff going on. And so he's calculating this. He's seeing it all coming from the south, and it's going all up the coastline of Africa, and then eventually it goes towards the United States. So the energy is off the charts, and something down there is trying to, manipulate the energy of the weather. I showed you in the last video how there's a lot of weather manipulation taking place with the towers. So there's something else going on here with these waves. So again, real strange stuff going on. I wish, we had somebody to actually tell us what's going on, but we can't. But also, I can't really say what I want to say on these platforms because, the AI is listening in. And so that's why I put together the master class. There's a link down below. All I ask is for your name and your email address. There's no obligation. It's basically just to gather information and emails just in case stuff, goes sideways. And that way I could contact people and get them up to speed again, because I'm so grateful for all the people that have, participated and supported me now in the new platform. So I'm really grateful. And of course, this channel has grown tremendously, and it's any day now, I'll probably hit 100,000 subscribers, which I'm grateful for. But again, I can't talk like I normally do. And believe me, the people in the private community just are, from what I gather in the comments, they love what I tell them because I'm unfiltered. I basically lay it on the line. Just to give you an example, the last Zoom call we had, I talked about the banking system, where it started from and how it works. And people really were appreciative of what I showed them. And it's not mainstream stuff that you hear. And so, I could talk unfiltered there. Anyway, no fear. Remember, no fear, friends. Okay? Fear is an illusion. False evidence appearing real. So stay out of fear. Stay out of worry. That's no good. Anyway, you could go to spaceweather.com if you want these alerts. They do a great job of alerting people when it's happening. But also go to Space Weather Prediction Center. That's the NOAA Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. I check this periodically too. And believe me, when those graphs go into the yellow, my God, do I feel it. Okay, I mean, it hits me like a ton of bricks. And then when I go to the website and I go, oh my God, no wonder I feel so sleepy and weird, because this is the electromagnetic energy, all of it. This is an overall index of the energy hitting the Earth. Now, I do believe we have several different kinds of energy hitting the Earth. First, we have the galactic energy coming from space. Wherever this is coming from, I do believe it is the center of the Milky Way galaxy, or it's some star that collapsed and it's still rippling electromagnetic waves through space, and it's hitting the Earth through our sun. And of course, we have the solar activity that's taking place. So there's a lot of stuff going on in space, and we need to pay attention to it because obviously it's affecting us, physically. And so pay attention, okay? So once again, check out the link down below. Check out my masterclass, and I appreciate all of you. And remember, We are spiritual beings having a human experience. As a matter of fact, we are spiritual light energy beings having a human experience. Okay, so to give you a better perspective, and always understand that. And do not go to fear. Do not go to anxiety. Do not, try and think that you're something else, because this is what it comes down to. All right. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.